Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports North Football video, and today I'm going over my Week 4 predictions for the 2023 NFL season. Technically, the games for Week 3 are not finished yet, but the Eagles game, while I'm recording this, is 20-3, and the Bengals game is 6-3 Rams. So, Eagles should win. Bengals game is going to be a little closer, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. First off, we're going to do a Week 3 recap. I did pretty decent this week. I think I went like 8-4 or something before these games, or something around there. I had the Niners beating the Giants 34-23. They ended up winning 30-12. I had the Jags beating the Texans 27-16. The final score was 37-17, which was close, but the Texans won. I had the Lions beating the Falcons 41-40. The Falcons did not keep it that close. It was 20-6, definitely not that high scoring. Ravens-Colts, I had the Ravens winning 32-29, which was a pretty close score-ish, but the Colts ended up winning 22-19. I had the Packers beating the Saints 25-24. It was 18-17, so it was about a touchdown off on both teams, but I did have the right winner. Dolphins over the Broncos. I had the Dolphins winning 30-23. They won 70-20. So I was fairly close on the Broncos score, but I was nowhere near the Dolphins score because 70 is insane. Browns over Titans. I had the Browns winning 24-23. They won 27-3. Was not expecting that one. Cleveland did have a very strong performance, but that one was wild. Bills over Commanders, at the Bills winning 31-20, and they won 37-3. So another team that did not perform as well offensively as I expected. I had the Patriots beating the Jets 22-17. I was about a touchdown off on each team. It was 15-10. Chargers-Vikings, I had the Vikings winning 26-22. They almost won 31-28, but Kirk Cousins threw a pick on the 6-yard line. Cowboys, Cardinals, I had the Cowboys winning 33-17. I was close on the score, but I had the wrong team. The Cardinals won 28-16. Chiefs, Bears, I had the Chiefs winning 30-13. They won 41-10. Fairly close. Seahawks, Panthers, I was pretty close on. I had 34-20. They won 37-27. And last but not least, I had the Steelers losing to the Raiders, but had I seen the entirety of the Steelers-Browns game last week before making my predictions, I may have picked the Steelers. It's my bad for making the video before all of the games from the previous week were done, but I most likely would have picked the Steelers. But after that game, I had changed my mental prediction, but it wasn't in the video. And then my prediction for the Bengals game was that the Bengals would win, and I predicted that the Eagles would win. So right now, the Eagles should win. Bengals game is close, but the Rams are currently leading. For Thursday night, I have the Lions beating the Packers 34-31. I think that this is going to be a decisive game in the NFC. The Lions and Packers are both 2-1. Week 4, in my opinion, is the most important week of the season. Or Week 4, and Week 6 are the two most important weeks of the season. There's a massive difference between 1-3, 2-2, and 3-1. I think that Jared Goff is going to use his experience in the league, his experience in tough games, because he has proven he can win tough games. And I think that he's going to prove it again this week, beating the Packers and putting up 34 points. Jordan Love has had a great start to the season. They won a tough game last week, but I think that the Lions are going to take this one. Moving on to London, we have Jaguars-Falcons. I have the Jaguars winning 20-17. Jacksonville's had a tough start to the season. Their offense is not clicking, and their defense has been pretty terrible, honestly, except for the Chiefs game. I think that this game they're going to start turning it around. I think that their defense is going to play better, and I don't think they're going to have a great offensive game, but I think that they're going to play good enough to win. The Falcons, obviously, I think have a good offense, but I think that they're going to have a tough game this week against the Jaguars, and both of these teams are going to be jet-lagged in London. So I think that it's going to be a low-scoring affair. But I think that Jacksonville is going to come out on top just because they're more pressed to get a win. They're 1-2. The Falcons are 2-1. So I think it's more likely Jacksonville is going to be pressing to try and get that victory. Moving on to 1 o'clock on Sunday, we have Rams, Colts, Dolphins, Bills, Steelers, Texans, Bengals, Titans, Saints, Bucks, Broncos, Bears, Eagles, Commies, Vikings, Panthers, and Ravens, Browns. First off with the Rams and the Colts, I have the Rams winning 30-27. This is the exciting matchup nobody knew that they wanted. The Rams have been pretty strong offensively so far this season. They've had close, interesting games in every game. They almost kept in it with the 49ers. They demolished the Seahawks, and they've had a strong game so far against the Bengals. The Colts are also 2-1, and they have had a very impressive season, considering a lot of people thought they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I think that this will be a strong, high-powered offensive game. I think that Gardner Minshew is going to have a great game, and I think that that new Rams offense and Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua and all of them, they're going to have a great game as well. I think 30-27 is a pretty reasonable score for that one. Same as Finn's Bills. I think that the Dolphins and the Bills game is going to be high scoring. I think Miami's going to take it to go 4-0 and stay undefeated. Ultimately, I think Buffalo's going to put up a fight, but I think Miami's the better team right now. Steelers, Texans, and also it's not cold enough yet for Buffalo to have home field advantage. If it was December, I would give it to Buffalo. But since it's not December, I'm giving it to Miami. Steelers, Texans, have the Steelers winning 20-19. The Steelers have had a very impressive first few weeks. The Texans have had a more impressive first few weeks than people expected. But I still think the Steelers have a better team, and I think their defense is going to show up against C.J. Stroud in that offense. Bengals, Titans, I have the Bengals winning 24-19. This has been a tight rivalry every year for the last few years because both of these teams have been winning their division. They've been doing well, and they've been playing each other almost every year. I think the Bengals are going to take this one 24-19. I think that they're going to finally find an offensive click, and the Titans' offense just has really looked like it did at the end of last year. Saints, Bucks, I think this will be a defensive game till the very end. 15-12. The Bucks' offense has looked okay, but they really have not looked great this week, and the Saints have been one of the best defenses in the league. I think this will be a game of field goals. In Alvin Kamara's return, he'll have a good game, but ultimately there will be a lot of field goals. Broncos, Bears, at the Broncos winning 34-26. This is the game that nobody is going to watch at all, although I do think it will be an unexpected diamond in the rough. I think there will be some good offensive football because neither of these teams have a defense, and I think that 34-26 is a pretty fair score guess for that game. Eagles, Commies, I have the Eagles winning 31-20. The Commanders upset the Eagles twice last year in the regular season. I think the Eagles are going to want revenge, and they're going to get the win in this one. Vikings, Panthers, have the Vikings winning 40-23. The Vikings are finally going to get their first win, and they're going to put up a lot of points getting it. And last but certainly not least, we have Ravens, Browns at 1 o'clock. I have the Ravens beating the Browns 23-20. Cleveland has had a good start to the season, but the Ravens are 2-1, and I don't see Lamar Jackson falling to 2-2. I think that they're going to have a good game against this strong Browns defense, and I think it's going to be a good defensive battle with some strong, it's going to be good offensive football, but the defenses are going to play well during this good offensive football. Sunday at 4 o'clock, we have Chargers, Raiders, Niners, Cardinals, and Patriots, Cowboys. This might be one of the most exciting 4 o'clock slates you could imagine early on in the season. Chargers, Raiders is a divisional matchup, and neither of these teams have a defense. So this game is going to be through the roof scoring. I think 33-27 is reasonable, considering that I don't think the Raiders' offense is going to score over 30. But I think that this game could be anywhere up to 40-40. This could be a super high-scoring game. But I have picked 33-27, and I think the Chargers should win it since they're playing a team that they can score a lot of points on. Niners, Cardinals, I have the Niners winning 34-23. Arizona's going to give them a run for their money. They've looked good this year, but ultimately the Niners, I think, are the best team in the league. I think they're the most complete team in the league, and I think that they should be able to beat the Cardinals in this one. But if the Cardinals win, I'm calling them a top 10 team. Patriots, Cowboys, I have the Patriots winning 27-24. The Cowboys' offense had some injuries. The Cowboys had some injuries this week, and they had some issues on offense. They really haven't looked good on offense in any of their games except for the Jets game. And the Jets game, it wasn't anything spectacular. They just looked good. The Patriots, same thing. They looked good in the first game of the season against the Eagles, and they've looked bad since then. On defense, both of these teams have been locked down. The Patriots have been against harder offenses to play, but the Cowboys' defense has been stronger overall. I think the Patriots should be able to take this one 27-24. I think it will be a higher scoring affair than people expect it to be because I think both of these offenses are going to find their groove against tough defensive opponents. Moving on to Sunday night, I have the Chiefs beating the Jets 23-12. This will be a low-scoring game. Jets defense is strong. Their offense sucks. The Jets are going to be in this low-scoring haze for the rest of the season, in my opinion, with Zach Wilson in this defense. And I think that the Chiefs are it's going to be very similar to the Chiefs-Jags game. It's going to be very underwhelming, very sad, and hopefully it's a little more interesting than I expect it to be. Last but certainly not least, we have the only Monday Night Football game of the week. We do not have two this week. We just have the one. We have Seahawks versus the Giants. I have the Seahawks winning 43-27. They found their offensive groove. I think they're going to continue to climb offensively, and they're going to put up a massive score against the Giants this week. Their defense still isn't phenomenal. That's I think what a lot of people expected based on how last year went. But I think that the Giants will have a decent offensive game to recover from this week against the Niners, and they're going to put up 27 points, which is a respectable score, but the Seahawks will outscore them. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm trying to get out some extra videos this week, so let's see if it happens. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.